Okay, it's that time of year where we're doing unboxing. This is for my second grader. I've got 3 big boxes here. The bottom one is from Timberdoodle, which we're using for STEM, thinking skills, language arts, except for reading, and there's a little bit of science in there. And then the box above that is from Bookshark, and we're using them for our science, our reading, and our history. And then the top box is our math, and I'm real excited to talk about the math because in a previous video I talked about why we weren't using Math UC again, and it's not because it's a bad program, I promise you, but just the way my son learns, I feel like this is a better fit, and it's a Montessori based math curriculum, and I'm excited to get into that here and take a look at it because I have not seen it. These boxes have not been opened by me. They have been opened by the charter school that we got our curriculum from. So there are a couple of things I know in the bottom box that I'm going to have to turn back into them. They did weed out like the Math UC. They just ordered the whole kit from Timberdoodle, the Elite kit. And I know they pulled some things out that they knew we weren't going to need, but I did just kind of peek in there, and I saw that there are still some things in there that we'll need to get back. So get back to the school because we won't need them. So, but I'm excited to take a look at this stuff and just kind of give you my first thoughts. And then, of course, once I've sorted through everything, I will do a full, video on what we have chosen to use for our second graders homeschooling. So let's get into it. I'm going to change the camera angle and do this from a different perspective. So give me a second and I'll be right back. So this is from Shiller Math. It's a little letter. And they're saying that basically they want you to let your kid explore with you. That's not going to happen today. All right, so, okay, Shiller Math is what we're using. It is a Montessori-based math program, but you do not have to know how to do Montessori method or teach Montessori method in order to do this program, which is really wonderful. It comes basically as an open and go program, so they say. So this is probably the manipulatives. Woo, sorry, bumped the camera. Yes. So my camera stand is there. I can't show you the inside of the box, so I'm just going to start pulling stuff out. Dang. Just making a big mess here. All right. Okay, so we did use Math UC last year, and what I loved about it was that it was hands-on, had manipulatives with it, but it's a mastery program, and we really need more of a spiral approach because we would think we mastered something and move on, and then he would forget it when we try to review for down the road. So I really wanted to try something different. This program, I know, goes for 3 years. Technically, you would start first grade, then or kindergarten, if you wanted to. First grade, second grade, third grade for their first program, and then they have a higher level program that goes 4th, 5th, and 6th. And by the time you're done with 6th grade, you should have your pre-algebra completely done, which I think is really neat. I probably should have had scissors handy. Wow. This is, let me get some scissors here. Okay, so I'm back. Safety scissors, hey, they work. Ugh. Now, this program is not inexpensive, I can tell you that. Though, of course, we didn't order it. The charter school, we didn't pay for it, the charter school did, but the value is very good because of the manipulatives that can be reused. The books, which I'll show you in a minute, have downloadable reproducibles, so you can literally reproduce the entire book and print it if you have multiple students. You also, and it comes with the program that's paid with it, and it goes for 3 years. So I want to say it's 350 something maybe, but you know, you break it down per year, and it's a good value. So these look like manipulatives for fractions and decimals. Okay, this is obviously a clock manipulative with your big and little hands and your single digit units. Okay, geometric solids. Well, this is nice because these aren't just two-dimensional. They're three-dimensional. So that's wonderful. Okay, I don't know what this is. It looks like they're geometric shapes as well, two-dimensional geometric shapes. Let me see what the, if I can get it open. It's very tightly wrapped in plastic. That's just a ruler. Oh, come on, seriously. All right. Okay, so, wow, these are just paper shapes. I can't see, I don't know. Paper shapes probably would not last long, so I don't know what those are for, but we shall see, right? And these are songs, kind of like Math You See, there are songs that go with this program, but where it's kind of an afterthought with Math You See, this is heavily integrated into this program and helps kids remember things. So there's one about fractions, if you can see this. Yeah, so there's all kinds of stuff. Geometry, angles, percentages, triangle properties, decimals, long division, fractions. The other thing about this program that's fascinating to me is the method, not the method, the order in which concepts are taught. See, I'm doing a full review. Look at me. I swear, this is supposed to be an unboxing. What is wrong with me? Okay, so this is just a notebook full of worksheets. Okay, graphs, sheets. It's nice that they have this stuff all printed out because they do have this stuff downloadable that you can print. So, and this looks like a little contents paper. Okay, but I guess I'll just talk while I look, right? Now what was I going to say? The good thing about this program is, I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, the way it teaches. The order in which concepts are taught is so weird. I mean, seriously, it's really bizarre. Okay, this is book 4, so this is the more advanced, which we don't need yet. They're teaching long division in, like, you know, 2nd grade. I'm not kidding. And they don't teach time and calendar work until 3rd grade. And their reasoning is that they teach concepts based on developmental ability. So his philosophy, Larry Shiller, who developed this program, his philosophy is that kids are developmentally ready for certain types of math before others. So because time is very abstract, he didn't even attempt to try to teach it until 3rd grade, which I find fascinating because it is one area where my son struggles. And it's like he knows concrete things, but when you have to take away time and add time and say, you know, what's 15 minutes from now, or what's, you know, if I say we're going to leave in a quarter hour, what does that mean? You know, he doesn't get it. So, yeah, anyway. So we'll see. Oh, no, I wonder if I got the wrong one. Lesson book 5? I wonder if I got the wrong kit. And maybe that's why this is book 5. See, you're getting the real deal here, people. Book 6, because I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to have book 1, 2, and 3. I'm pretty darn sure. And I thought, okay, book 4, you know, maybe we're going down, you know, 4, 3, 2, 1, maybe there's 4 books. Nope. I have the wrong kit. Oh. Okay, they mentioned that I was one of the few that got their kit, and I got the wrong one. Okay, well, you got an overview of what Shiller Math is all about. Definitely look into it, but yeah, not showing you what's in our kit here. Okay, I've got to pause this. Okay, so we're into Bookshark. But you know, it's so funny because I'm looking at the songs and all the different things that were in that Shiller kit. I'm like, fractions, decimals. I was expecting things about time and money and, you know, columns and addition, subtraction. Anyway, that's fun. Okay, this is Bookshark. We're going to use Bookshark for science and history and for reading. This is the instruction guide notebook, and there's just the tab dividers here because I know that because I used it for my 8th grader, the lesson guides are loose. Okay, so here's some wet erase markers, which I highly recommend wet erase markers. I don't think I'll go back to dry erase for things like laminated sheets that, you know, you want to get your kids to use as worksheets or whatever because they smear. I've got a lefty, so he writes in dry erase and it smears everywhere, and these dry pretty fast, so these work really good. I like them, and I never tried them until I got Bookshark. Okay, 3rd grade detectives. These are going to be lots of reading books. Nate the Great, which those are wonderful books. Okay, my son is doing level 1 history. And the reason for that is because history includes both read alouds, or almost exclusively read alouds. But he's at a 2nd grade reading level. 2nd grade reading level, easily at a 2nd grade reading level. So the readers we have are going to be 2nd grade. The history is going to be level 1 because the read alouds were just, I could tell I was just going to lose him at the 2nd grade level ones. So you'll see what I mean here in a minute, but I believe these are all readers. Nate the Great, that's a reader. This is a reader. Little pair, not sure about that one. That might be a read aloud. Owls in the Family, The Sword in the Tree, Lois Lowry, Goony Bird Green by Goony Bird Green, Riding the Pony Express. I think these are all readers. Yep, Hill of Fire's reader, The Big Balloon Race. And see, they kind of get you advanced. I mean, he's capable of reading these, but maturity-wise, he wants picture books. So I decided to do this program to try to get him interested in chapter books and bring his confidence up, that he can do it. The Bookshark curriculum does do it in small, bite-sized chunks, so they're not having to sit and read, 5 chapters at a time. It's a daily small chunk of reading. He should be fine with it. At least I'm hoping. That looks cute. Okay, The Year of Miss Agnes. This appears to be a read aloud. Mr. Popper's Penguins. That is a read aloud. Understood Betsy. Read aloud. Homer Price, read aloud. Don't know. Prairie School, Claire in the Book Wagon, that's a reader. Henry Huggins, this one kind of got bent up in the box, but I don't think it was their fault because the charter does go through and make sure everything is that they ordered is in there. So it's been repackaged. This is it's a read aloud. See, Charlotte's Web, read aloud. We went through, I went through as a read aloud, I went through Stuart Little to see if we could do it. And I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to, and he did fine with it. It wasn't his favorite, but we did fine, so I'm thinking we'll be okay with these. That one's got to be a read aloud. Look at it. Woo, it's big. Detectives in Togas. There's a reader. They're all kind of mixed up because, again, they've been gone through. This is a poem, favorite poems of childhood. Frog and Toad. Sea Level 2, so it's going to start easier. Pompeii, Buried Alive reader. Al at Home reader. Marie Curie's Search for Radium. Ooh, that looks interesting. A Child's History of the World. I've heard wonderful things about this. It is a classic book. It's written by the man who started Calvert School, if anybody is familiar with the Calvert curriculum. It is similar in format to Story of the World, but it's written for a little more on a child's level, but yet it's still, I don't know how to explain it, because I haven't seen it, but what I've read about it is that it's more like, not as modern verbiage, so, but yet still simple enough for a child to understand. Anyway, we'll see. I'm hoping I will love that. Do that. The Titanic. Wow. Frog and Toad are friends. There's a lot of books. Mouse Tales. Frog and Toad All Year. These were my favorites when I was a kid. I'm so excited because I knew that we were going to get them this year, and I've been just chomping at the bit to get these at the library and have him read Frog and Toad books. Yeah, it's hard. Oh, Amelia Bedelia. Oh, I love those too. Okay, The Fire Cat. Level 1. It seems like I've got a lot more books than I'm supposed to, so we'll have to see. The Long Way to New Land, The Long Way Westward, Tut's Mummy. Okay, now this I know is part of the science. See, the science does have some books too, but I don't remember reading books in there. Okay, so archaeologists dig for clues. The Usborne Book of Science Activities. Ooh, here's another one. Inside the Earth. Okay, here's a history book. The Peoples of the World by Usborne. This is the instructor guide. For what? That was history. And it's pretty extensive, as you can see. But it does, again, it breaks it down into daily segments. Very easy to follow. You know exactly what you're supposed to do. And it is a 4-day week. So we have a day that we use for enrichment classes. Okay, so that's for the readers. This is for science, right? Yep, life science, meteorology, and mechanical technology. The reason I chose Bookshark for science is because of the content, the topics that they cover. We used Science Fusion last year. We loved it. But what they were going to do is cover the same exact topics again this year and just go into more depth. And I didn't want to do that because this includes things like the human body and meteorology and really focuses in on things that he is interested in. Here's a book on weather. The Usborne Book of World History. It's a hardback. Ooh, that's a very nice book. The Usborne Time Traveler book, again hardback, very nice. It Could Always Be Worse. Go back into history here. Now, worldly wise, we got this is not their normal like Worldly Wise 3000 like you might be familiar with. This is for younger ages. I don't even know if they're making this anymore. They're still offering it on Bookshark's website, but I thought I read somewhere they discontinued this. Whatever, I don't know. But we got this for vocab because Timberdoodle didn't have a vocab per se. Oh, these are the timeline figures. There is a timeline book that's included, and it starts from 5000 BC to the present. And literally, as you go through, you could use this for all the way through high school. Well, I say high school. The Bookshark only goes through like 8th grade. Sunlight, which is the sister company, goes through high school. But this timeline book, you know, you cut out the figures, or you can cut out magazines, or you can write, take notes to create a timeline. And these are the figures that are included. So I'm excited about that. And this is the map that comes with. It's meant to be dry erase or wet erase, which wet erase is what they, you can't see all of it, but there's United States on one side and the world on the other. And it folds up neatly. You can put it on the wall. You can keep it tucked away, whatever you want. Okay, the Esborn Book of Knowledge. We're back to science again. This looks amazing. Very nice. Nice illustrations. Okay. What is physics all about? And then you get a science kit with this program as well. I don't think it's real heavy on experiments, but it does have enough hands-on that I think it'll keep my son's interest. It's his favorite part about science is the science experiments. I thought maybe it would include maybe a list here. Now this I got from the charter. It wasn't in the box because they had an extra one that had not been used, but obviously it's been handled. This would not come like this, but I've already double checked this to make sure everything was here, and it is. So we've just got lots of stuff in here. Looks like we're going to do some work with batteries and wiring and light bulbs. Yep, there are the light bulbs, rubber bands, some balloons. So yeah, that's exciting. Glitter. Alright, thermometer. And then this is just filter paper, which we've got plenty of coffee filters if we ever need to replace that. And what else? Oh, this DVD. Inquisikids, Discover and Do. It's a DVD that shows you the experiments live, so you can watch them. I don't know if they're the same as what you do in the kit, but or if they're different, I don't know, but it'll be fun to find out. Multimedia is always good, and that's one thing I loved about the Science Fusion was all the multimedia, but it didn't have any hands-on either. So this is, I think, going to be really fun. Okay. So I'm coming at a different angle here so I can go through Timberdoodle stuff. Okay, this is something that I ordered, or I had them order for me to replace something that comes in the second grade kit. It comes with a 3D model of a cell, a plant cell, and we're not doing anything with plants in the science that came with Bookshark, so I had this ordered for us instead. It's a science kit based on the human body, and you can test saliva and just do all sorts of cool things with this. I'm real excited about it. Here's the back side of it. What happens to the food you eat? How much air can you exhale? Why do your heart and stomach? Why do your heart and stomach make sounds? Sorry, I can't see very well. All right. This is called Morph, and this is thinking. It's like a stress ball kind of thing where they can make stuff with it. They always include something of this nature with their kits, and so we've never played with this, and so I'm kind of excited about it. But I can't tell you much other than that. Now we got a sneak peek at this set. I actually have I got part of our kit early because they had a partial kit and they went ahead and gave it to me. The school's going through some major growing pains. That's why I'm getting my curriculum so late. They had a bunch of construction going on. They didn't have a permanent facility where they could store everything. They finally got everything moved at the middle of the week last week, and so we just now got our curriculum. So that's why I'm a little concerned about some of these things that either didn't come in yet or like that Shiller kit, I got the wrong one, but it'll all work out. But the school's like doubled in the last year too in size, so but they had some stuff in a partial kit and they just gave it to me. I have a feeling because they knew they were going to be moving all this stuff, and they figured I could send the duplicates back once I got the kit. So this is a duplicate to something we already have. My husband already dived into this, and he had a little bit of trouble with some of it, so we're a little concerned that my almost 7-year-old is going to have struggles with this by itself, but it's very cool. Very, very cool. But we'll probably have to make that a group project. Okay. They have lots of thinking skill stuff in there, and STEM in their kits. Laser Maze Junior. We had the Laser Maze original, and my 8th grader got in his 7th grade curriculum. Oh, he loved that thing, so I'm really excited for my younger son to try the junior version of that. Tenzi. This is a dice game that I believe is meant to help with math. And then there's this card game that goes with it that says 77 ways to play Tenzi. So I'm real excited. Obviously, you could easily do multiplication, addition, division with these. So I'm excited to try those. This is something I did not expect, because I looked over this kit pretty good. Get out and play all day. 3 innovations for an active generation. This just looks like a fun, you know, a couple of toys or whatever. Bounces on water, bounces out of this world, and it's an air flyer. So I wasn't expecting to get this, so I'm excited about that. All right. So now we have Spelling You See and something else. Story of the World. Alright, so this is something that's going to go back. Story of the World. We tried it last year. It did not go well. I know with Bookshark we're doing a lot of, we have this, you know, story of a child's world or whatever it is, but it's not the main curriculum. When we tried this last year for level 1, which was world history, this is Middle Ages, it didn't go well. I just couldn't keep his attention with it. The activity book was fantastic, but the story of the world, it just wasn't working. Probably a maturity level thing, but that's why I decided to go with Bookshark this year, to try to kind of get him to the point where he'll sit through the kind of read alouds. So that's going back. Now this is, in fact, I think the Story of the World, it came with the CDs and the activity book, and I think they already pulled it out of this kit, because like I said, I glanced through here. I didn't spend time really looking at it, but I glanced through it, and I think they pulled out things that they knew we wouldn't need. Alright. Man, they really shrink wrap this stuff like crazy. Okay, Spelling You See. We love Spelling You See, so I'm very excited. It always comes with a package of erasable pencils, colored pencils. You get a student workbook, which they learn spelling through repetition and dictation, and it's so far we have had a lot of success with it, so I'm excited about that. Oh boy, what else? Oh, nope, there's the rest of the Story of the World. So we'll send that back. Sorry, Story of the World. Actually, that big book I just showed you was the activity book. Sorry. This is the actual Story of the World book. This is the CDs. Audio only CDs, in case you're not familiar with that program. Well, this book I'm excited about if I can get to it. Come on. Okay, it's called This Is the World, a Global Treasury, and it's just got these beautiful illustrations and photographs about different places in the world, and so it's a good introduction to actual geography. Timberdoodle's geography tends to be more about map reading and that kind of thing, so this actually gives some exposure to the actual different places around the world, so I'm excited about that. But look at this book, it's massive. We kind of like books around here, can you tell? Alright, okay, here's another packet of something. My son is behind me reading a book. which just excites me to no end. I can't even tell you how much I love it, because he's a good reader, but he has not always been interested in reading on his own, outside of, you know, required reading. So I'm just so excited. All right, so this is second grade book. It goes through every single thing in the kit. It gives you an example check sheet so that you can, what is that? That's a reading list, sorry. Where is it? There it is. It's a check sheet, which I've used the check sheet system for several years now, and it's worked really well. This year we're using Homeschool Planet for various reasons, but that's another video. But this will kind of keep you on track if you want to finish everything. You just check off, it's a weekly checklist, and you just check off what you get done for the week, and there you go. The Usborne Step-by-Step Drawing Book. This is neat because literally it teaches how to draw simple objects, or how to break it apart into simpler shapes. So you start with this shape, and then this shape, and then this shape. You add the legs, you add the face. Next thing you know, you've got a bird, which, you know, I think that's a pretty effective way to teach drawing. This is Building Blocks of Science. This is new to Timberdoodle this year. What they were using wasn't being well received. We didn't like it. I don't know anybody that liked it, actually. But this is very hands-on. It's built around science experiments, weekly science experiments. So I decided, because I've got 2 older students who are going to be doing science experiments, that I needed to hold off on doing this until maybe next year for my son, because we'll have some hands-on with the Bookshark. So this is going to go back, but really, if you want hands-on science, it's quite excellent. I have peeked in it before. Draw, Doodle, Design. This is like drawing prompts. Okay. Word Fun. This is all about the parts of speech, and it's a fun way to learn it, and I'm excited about this book because we've struggled with that a little bit. He'll learn it and get it, and then he'll forget it. I don't know why. So this is a comic novel and a graphic novel, and these are his favorite kind of books, so I'm excited about that. Timberdoodle introduced him to those last year, and they've quickly become his favorites, so I'm glad they have one in there this year. Oh, this is a writing book. It gives you prompts and helps kids learn how to write their own stories, so I'm excited about that. These are books that are done to teach science principles, I believe physics actually, and using Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. That looks really fun. Okay. Alright, my maximum recording time had been reached, so I better get on with this. Alright, Building Blocks of Science. This is for test practice. We never use these, even though we do standardized tests. I never use those. Famous Figures of the Renaissance. This goes with Story of the World. It's not part of their kit, but Timberdoodle includes these, and I actually requested the one for early world history, and I don't see it in this box, so I don't know if it got ordered, but this gives them something to do with their hands when you're reading to them. Now, this might have been helpful last year. They didn't have this in the kit last year, so it's like a paper doll, but you put the grommets in there, and they're literally figures. Do they have a picture of a finished one? No, they don't. I've seen a photograph of the finished ones, though. They kind of show you here what it's going to look like when it's all done, and it's neat. And then they've got, looks like they've got one that they can color themselves and put together, and then one that's already colored that you can put together. I'm real excited. The paper could be a little thicker, but it's not horrible. It's not horrible. But, yeah. Okay, Daily 6-Trait Writing. This breaks writing down into simple, easy chunks, and we've really enjoyed it. So this is the second grade version. Same thing with the Daily Geography. It's mostly about how to read maps and, you know, your directions and north, south, east, west, the landforms, that kind of stuff. So, first language lessons. This is very interactive. It gives simple lessons that you do. This is like a teacher manual. Just tells the teacher what to do, and then you just interact with your child. And then there's a little bit of copy work in here. So this is about you know, your grammar and stuff. So that's what that is. And this is a thinking skills book that gives puzzles to help them just kind of, you know, stretch their brain somewhat and solve puzzles. And I'm kind of excited about that too, actually. And this is just a teacher manual for Matthew. Sorry, spelling you see. Jumpin' what? Jumpin' something. I guess it's, oh, jump in. There we go, jump in. This is, I know, a logic game, and it looks really cute. So far, all the logic games we've had in these kits have been really good, so I doubt very seriously we'll have complaints with that one. This is an art kit, rainbow sands, and you have these little boxes that you fill with sand, and then you sprinkle the sand on the, I'm not sure exactly how it works, but it looks really fun. And qubits. This is a, I believe it's a logic game. It's the solo version though, so you don't have to do play as a team or in whatever, multiple players. So yeah, that's it. So I'm honestly not quite sure if I've got everything because I need to look at my list of stuff we ordered. I know there's a workbook that's missing that was not in the kit that we ordered separately for language arts that goes more into, you know, sentence structure and punctuation and just practice. It gives a lot more practice than what we've got here in terms of language arts. So that hadn't come in yet. There was one other thing she said hadn't come in yet. Oh, handwriting. Timberdoodle isn't including handwriting in their kits anymore. So they ordered a handwriting curriculum for us, and that hasn't come in yet. So yeah, so that's our little unboxing. And thank you so much for hanging out with me if you've made it this far. But if you like this sort of thing, please do thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because I love to review products. I love to help homeschoolers, you know, decide what they're going to use and give reviews and whatnot. So